Greeting peeps. Now this is the test of the, what do you call it, Vauxhall Corsa that we've got. Hang on, where's the what? Hang on, try to work out what's what in here. Yep, we need a 7-seater. My wife paid extra to have one, and they say you only get a 7-seater if it's a total write-off.
Can we just go?
There we go. So it says automatic windscreen wiper activated. Got DBS radio, all of the stuff like that. And my wife's going to video me driving. There you go.
No, put it off.
We'll not the video all the way. Right, let's turn
video yourself driving.
So here we go. It's a 1.2 petrol turbo, and it's a 70 reg. It's red, so wrong colours for starters, but there you go. And so I've got my daughter in the background giggling away because I'm doing this video. So the first video I've done, and I think the book price is round, well, going to be about over £20,000. It's good points, fairly comfortable. Bad points, jittery. It's noisy and rumbly on the bumpy roads. Steering's quite nice and light. It's got sports mode. Other than that, I won't buy one. End of. So, my first ever driving experience in this car. Lights have gone off. So, lock the door. You see? What can I say about it? Well, it's comfy-ish. After driving it for quite a while, it's quite pleasant. So, could I recommend it? If you've got the money, I suppose, and you've got loads of money. But then it's too small for the price it's cost. Apologies for this bad Corsa. And I'll just put the... I think if it was something like, if it was £12,000, then fair enough, but not at 20 grand. This is the size of the boot. Yeah. I thought it was one might be an automatic opening one, but it's not. Something else we've noticed here that's interesting. Let's turn that off. Tells you if somebody's how many seats have actually not got the seat belts on. And then also you've got a thing there that tells you if the door's open. So it's quite an intelligent little thing. You've got your controls for your air conditioning, your fingers and everything, your fan speed and everything else there.
You need to put that back window up.
Yeah. So you got it's a 6-speed petrol, which is quite bizarre. And then if you look further down here, you've got some other ones, like you've got sports mode. I think that's traction control. That one's for lane assist, which when it went on before, it said there was a malfunction with it, which I don't know why. I presume that's for some sort of sensors. Power assisted steering, I presume, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. Might be a passenger airbag, possibly. And then your menu, on the thing, you've got your cruise control, which we've not actually used yet. On this side is for your volume controls and your sounds, your phone, everything else. And in the middle you've got your Vauxhall badge. There's the controls on there. You've got your, if you want to put the rear wipers on, you twist it that way. Then you've got your normal intermittent one, so at the moment it's on at auto. And then your normal indicator things there, set clear for your speed things. But to be honest, we don't even really use that, bother in using it. And then down here you've got a handbrake, which is on this side, which is very strange, but it's handy, I suppose, if you want a drink, because you've got 1, 2 cup holders and something for whatever you want to put in there. And you've got a little cup holder thing there, so the storage is quite nice. To say it's a little diddy car. It's actually better than mine. And now on here, look, you've got mine, which is just showing mine on. You've got lights on there, SOS, which I presume is if you connect it to your phone, which is handy. And you've got little lights for your like LED lights. Out on there, you've got a little clip here for something. That lifts up. Hello. Handle there to pull down. And on there you've got your little thing, so I've locked it so that kids can't mess about with thinking mirrors. Electronic mirrors, electronic windows. And overall it's quite a nice pleasant drive. So yeah, I was quite impressed with it actually. I wasn't too bothered about it before, but it's actually quite a nice little drive. And then return. The thing about again is the fact that when you're putting the key in, normally you sort of put it in like that and twist it on the other ones, but this one you sort of put it to the side, which is a bit bizarre. And then obviously down here you've got your lights there. So you've got, like, at the moment it's on auto. You can really see that. There you go. So that's on auto lights. You got a dimming thing, and you're dimming for your dashboard as well. The pedals are very bizarre because they're like metal with rubber on. So I think it's because it's like a sporty kind of look. And then the gear knob, which I'm not really touching on, but it's like, it feels a bit sort of sporty, but really comfortable to handle, you know, to hold it properly. So you get a good grip on it, whereas some of them are a bit, your hand like that. This one's actually really comfortable, and you just put your hand on it and it holds really well. Lift it up there into reverse, and that's your reverse. And like I say, it's a 6-speed petrol manual gearbox, which I find very odd, but it's quite nice. Entertainment system's okay, you know, you got your thing, but I don't like the fact it's got separate controls for the heater, you know, because some of them, when you're trying to fill about when it's on dashboard, they're not easy to use, to be honest. I wonder the thing which, when you're driving, let's see if we can put it on. Is that on there, on the, oops, my wiper's on, this bit here, on that part, when you're driving, that comes on, telling you what speed you should be doing for a particular road part, but it doesn't always work, it keeps coming off. It turns itself off sometimes. Oh, that's interesting. And you think you're going at a certain speed, and you know you should be going a certain speed. And we were driving the other day, and it should be in a 30-mile-an-hour limit, and it actually said 50, which I thought was very strange. And if you're in a street, like a place you don't really know very well, that could be a major problem if you're not paying attention to the road or whatever, which you should be doing anyway, you know. But ultimately, if it's there to help you, it ain't helping whatsoever. Okay, so around the back, it's quite a nice sporty looking car. Lock it twice. So you've got a nice little thing up there. The view around the back's not very good, to be honest. It's quite a limited view, but ultimately the styling is quite nice. And I do actually like the styling, it's nice to drive. But like I've said before, £20,000 or whatever it would cost for this brand new, no, I won't pay that much. Now I try to connect the phone to the car using a USB lead. Okay, as you can see here, this has got Android Auto, Bluetooth connection, which I've connected. But Android Auto doesn't work, even though I've got a cable that I know has data and everything else, and even on the settings itself says it's compatible. It's a right nuisance, because if I click on that, it says there, connect compatible equipment by USB or reconnect if it's already connected. Well, I've done that, God knows how many times. I know it says to start the engine, but I've tried that and that doesn't work. A big no-no, big problem, and a big thing to stop you from buying this car. One thing I wondered is how you get this cap off, because there's nothing inside. All you do, you press that and it pops open, and that just turns a little bit, and then oops, and you see in there it's got a little smaller filler cap. I think I've just locked it again. There you go. And then that, you push it back like that. Okay, now in the passenger side of things, you sort of sit and it's like, yeah, okay. Now one thing I've found out since I've been driving for a little bit is that the sports mode, you can turn it on, but when you turn the engine off and then back on again, it leaves it off, which is a bit strange. Now the glove box is, I thought it'd be big, but it's not. I mean, you know, a width of your hand in there. I mean, it's good that your door pockets are kind of quite wide. Look, you're quite big there, which isn't bad. But this one has got a problem with the fuse box that doesn't seem to go on properly. But I ain't touching that because that's nothing to do with me. We've not done it. It was like that when we opened it. So that's leaving it as it is. And anything else to report? Oh yes, the display as you're driving, in certain areas it might brighten up and darken the display as you're going through different areas. So if it's sunny, I think it puts it a bit darker or brighter, whichever. But then the other problem is the touchscreen, from a certain angle, it picks up a lot of dust. I'm not sure if you can see that. But when you start to driving at an angle, it becomes a bit unclear and a bit dusty. So it's not very good. One other thing is the airbag thing. We've worked out what it is. So that one, because it shows, if you can see it, if it'll focus. Yeah, that one's for the back. Then that one's for the front passenger seat. That one's for the rear middle passenger seat. That's for the driver's seat. And that one is for the rear passenger seat. And they all come on when you're driving, so you really can't tell. Obviously you put yours on so you know when that goes off, but it's difficult to see immediately unless someone explains to you which is which. but once you know it's okay. And then I found out that one activates the cruise control. That one sort of pauses the cruise control, so it's that kind of turns it off, you press it again, it comes back on. And that one I think is the maximum limiter, I believe. But still not sort of the issue with the Android Auto connecting to the thing, so I gave up in the end. I just thought, what's the point? It's not my car, we'll not be having it. If it don't work, it don't work. So on that, but that's the wheels. And they look alright, quite sporty. Not special though. One other thing I forgot to mention is if you've got any of these CDs, I've only just realised coming out of the car, because I don't really take much notice of them, because I don't really use them much anyway in the car, but there's no CD player in it. I mean, obviously there's going to be no tape deck, because tape decks are years old, you know, in the old cars, but there's no team for the CDs. End of an era for CDs, but then most people, you know, if you've got them on your phone now, you could probably download MP3s and stuff, especially if you've got an Apple, because it's tricky to get things onto an Apple, for an iPhone and stuff, isn't it? MP3s without paying for it, if you know what I mean. Not that I would condone anything, you know, download, but because I've got literally loads of CDs anyway, especially like things like Finding Cannibals are on a remix, you know, there's all sorts of different ones on there. I'm Not Satisfied, Matt Dyke remix. That's no lie. There's something called Matt Dyke remix. D-I-K-E. Not as you're thinking. I'm being offended, so don't get offended. It's not spelled like that, it's from his name. So today's the day we've got to return the car, the Corsa, back to Vauxhall. What will I miss about it? The digital radio, really, which is no biggie. Other than that, nothing really. Oh, and these are the steering wheel, you can just turn it, because like in the, you know, it's like a city mode, dead easy. But other than that, maybe not a lot.